Beautiful people out there in TV land, Eddie the Tattooed Realtor here. So you're looking to dive deeper into an MLS sheet. Maybe you're a realtor looking to get more information. Maybe you're a homeowner or a renter looking to understand these white sheets. Maybe if they're handed to you, I really hope your realtor's handing you these MLS sheets so you can take your notes, record all the information. But let's dive deeper into how to make odds and ends of what an MLS sheet looks like. Now, we're going to keep this real surface level, but we're going to go as deep as we can. I know that kind of didn't make sense, surface level, but deep. We're going to keep it as simple as possible so that you guys can get a better grasp of what the MLS sheet looks like. We're going to dig into a property that one of my customers has so graciously sent me to dig into, and we'll dig into it together, okay? So we're here on the MLS Dashboard. I'm in the greater Fort Lauderdale MLS and the Palm Beaches MLS. I service Broward, Miami-Dade County, and Palm Beach County. Buy, sell, rent. I'm always here to help. Information is always in the link below. So click CoreLogic to get into the MLS. Going to switch over, let the camera catch up to us, and we're actually on the MLS page here. Now, where it says ML number, I'm going to put this number that I've received, and I press enter. Now, once you put the number into the ML, it's going to take a moment to generate. Now, what you're seeing here in front of you is a single line display for myself that I've originated and kind of like, organized and itemized for a CMA view, a comparable market analysis view. I find that when I see it this way on a single line, it allows me to get real quick information, kind of get my bearings straight as quickly as possible. So, we have here just real briefly, guys, the MLS number, the address, the status, city, occupancy, bedrooms, restrooms, half restrooms, living area square footage, year, garage, pool, waterfront, listing date, and listing price. Now, this is going to be that could be a whole separate video in itself about using the single line display as a realtor, or hopefully as a homeowner, asking the realtor to do it for them to organize things when you're doing like a comparable market analysis of value and things of that nature. But for the sake of this argument, we're going to dig into this MLS sheet. Now, this MLS sheet, I consider it to be like, hey, this is the basic one you're going to see. There are other formats that could be printed, like I think there's like a photo one or a map one or things of that nature. But 9 times out of 10, when I'm on the road or I even meet with a seller to assist in selling a home, I always bring this particular sheet with me printed out. And why? Because it's good to have things tangible. They can make their notes or ask questions or whatever the case may be. So let's say you get one of these bad boys, or let's say you're looking at on the MLS. Now on the MLS, we have these icons on the top. You can just scroll over them as I'm doing right here, and bada bing, bada boom, it tells you what they mean. Now up here too, when this realtor didn't list it or didn't provide it, supplementals. Supplementals could be things like your reserves for an association, surveys, inspection reports, receipts for repairs or improvements, things of that nature. The more information, at least in my professional opinion, that you provide on the MLS to potential realtors assisting a buyer to purchase the home that you, the realtor, are selling for an awesome seller, or if you're assisting someone in purchasing a home or renting a home, you got to be able to dig into that information about that building, not ask a million questions and bother the other realtor. Obviously here they have other tabs, but for the sake of argument, we're just going to look over here for a second. Make a whole other video on all the tabs and links. But for this case, we're going to click on the history because that's where I start, and I figured we could start there together. Now, when you're looking at the history of a property, got to be careful because you'll see some interesting things happen. It allows you to get into the headspace, potentially, of the seller. Now, we see here that this property, at least on the MLS, is recorded as being sold in 2018 for $109,000, and then, or became available, forgive me, then it's sold in May of 2018 for $109,998. Then we have here, it was listed again in May, then it was taken off the market or canceled in August of this year for $170,000. Then it went back on the market for $175,000, $75,000 more. And see, sometimes realtors do this strategy, and we don't know the case here, but sometimes you'll see a realtor that they'll have a listing. It'll be a little aged, if you will. They'll take it off the MLS, cancel it, and then they'll put it back on the MLS so it appears to be a new listing. Well, just digging into the history shows you, yeah, this property's been on the market since May, and they increased it by $5,000. So we'll see what's going on there. Guarantee there's something in the remarks or some sort of financials that's making this property a little bit more complex or difficult for a buyer to buy. Now let's close this out and let's go back to this sheet. Now this sheet, obviously, guys, you can click on the photos. We're not going to dig into the photos. That's going to be a separate video in itself. And you can click like scattered view or like a panel view, and all that kind of good things. Now we're going to go all the way to the bottom. All the way to the bottom shows you the listing agent's information, the office address, phone numbers, all that kind of cool stuff, emails as well, commissions here, original listing price, so on and so forth. Then you can see here every section is marked. Agent office information, financial information, condo, additional information, rooms, general information, remarks, and then a big cornucopia of information here at the top. So we saw here on the bottom agent information. We can see here financial information. Now, terms considered is important. Terms considered means what terms is the seller considering, or better yet, is applicable within the building or the association or the condo or whatever. Here, they're only looking for cash only. Now, I don't know why they put cash, then cash only again. I know in the financial information area, you can put multiple things, but whatever, they did it twice. We can see here that they said the total mortgage is $77,850. I'm assuming that's what's left over the original mortgage. I've never seen that been mandatory to input, because the MLS sheets can be added, manipulated, changed from the realtor as well. Just so you know, it can be manipulated. So you always want to double check, triple check information. We have association. It's a condo, $369 a month. Application fees $150. That, you got to be paying attention to that too. You don't get that money back for the application fee. Association fee, tax information. Here we have association approval, 3 to 4 weeks. The complex name, unit floors, all that kind of stuff. With condos, it's important to pay attention to the unit floor and the total floors, whether or not you're on the top floor, bottom floor, middle, side, window, left, right, up, down. That's important. Going over here to additional information shows you what the maintenance includes. All amenities, building exterior, common area, landscape, lawn maintenance, parking. This is typical for condo associations. I don't see insurance mentioned here. Usually insurance is handled by the association. That's why you pay an association fee. And then usually you have a very small policy on the interior of your unit, 9 times out of 10. But remember, every situation is different. Every situation should be dug into as thoroughly as possible. Restrictions, no leasing, first year owned. So they don't allow leasing for the first year. It looks here. Once again, you're going to confirm that information, because when it's a condo, and we can go into that in another video, we got so many videos to make. You'll have the 5 or 6 documents that you can review within a time frame, I think 3 days, and you can ask the questions. And that gives you an opportunity to back out of the deal also if the association documents don't make sense or you don't agree with that overall. We see here rooms, they don't really include anything there. General information about parking, flooring, ceiling fans, all that kind of stuff. Big thing here is HOPA. HOPA is older for Housing Peoples Act. 55 plus communities. So it's not a 55 plus community. If it's a short sale, if it's an REO, like a real estate owned property, so on and so forth. Now, this is probably the biggest thing I wish I knew about 11 years ago when I got into real estate, about the broker confidential remarks. Now, I'm not showing you anything that is like private entirely. The broker confidential remarks. These remarks are not syndicated out to the general public through the public remarks that's seen above, like on Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin, Trulia, all that kind of stuff. These are for the realtors, and I share these with my customers all the time. Check this out. We're going to read it together. Well kept, lowest price 2-2 in Ramble Woods. Is a corner unit, good to know. Association requires 640 credit score and a debt to income ratio, DTI, no more than 60%. Ramblewood has no reserves, so this has to be a cash deal. Holy cannoli, banoli, cannoli. No cash or no reserves, so it has to be a cash deal. What does that mean? That means, going to take a water break. That means that the association does not have money in a reserve fund to basically replace stuff or fix stuff, or if the building explodes or an asteroid hits it or whatever. And that's not good. In my opinion, that is not good to have a building that you have all these different people living in it, doing their own things, with no reserves. That's why it has to be a cash deal. Now it makes sense. Unfortunately for my customer, we're looking at conventional based condominiums that have to take a conventional loan. When it has to take a conventional loan, there has to be a certain amount of reserves in there. Buyer must pay $150 standard application fee to the association upon executed contract. Okay. All information to believe to be accurate and must be verified by buyer's agent. No lease first year, call text for presenting offer. Well, obviously, they have to be verified. The realtors put that nonsense in there because of the mere fact they want a CYA, and I get that. I get it, but it is what it is. The one thing that I saw here that didn't make sense was rules and regulations attached, but Usually there's an icon here, like usually right here, that has like a clickable link for documentation. I don't see it here. Maybe they forgot to put it. That's something you'd want to ask. Going up, public remarks, these are the remarks transferred over to to realtor.com, Zillow, things of that nature. You can see here, right here, guys, it says, like without having to pay for someone's cheap upgrades because it already has washer and dryer, a recently installed new roof and AC unit, making it perfect. Okay, well, you'd want to verify the new roof and AC unit, because if there's a new roof and a new AC unit and the building has no reserves, that means there's probably a special assessment somewhere, or it was. You want to confirm that information. A special assessment is an assessment you pay above and beyond the normal association fee, and that can get substantial for a certain period of time. I mean, you could talk millions of dollars, not to one individual homeowner, but broken up over a building when there's an association. Living area square footage, 1070. We can see the illegal description. If in a legal description you see the word condo, usually it's indicating a condo association. Just be aware of that. 2.2, built in 1974. Be careful with ages, specifically here in South Florida. Since I service Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade counties, you see a lot of different things when it comes to the ages of buildings. Be with a 10-year inspection, a 40-year restoration, all these kind of things you got to pay attention to them. And then, of course, you see the listing price, and you see it searched under condo, co-op, villa, townhome, and then the address. So there you have it, guys. Really simple as to going and digging into the MLS sheet. I hope this helped. I know when I was a realtor, starting out 11, 10 years ago, it was difficult to read these. And because I see them so often, I'm so used to kind of digging through that. But that doesn't negate the fact you got to dig into each one. Bust out. I don't have my highlighter. I guess it's in the car. Bust out your handy dandy pencil and highlight, scratch, circle, and ask those questions, because ignorance isn't an excuse here, and you got to make sure to do right by your buyers, sellers, renters. All right, guys, this is a Tattoo Realtor. Hope you enjoyed this video. Many more to come. Know you're appreciated and loved. Hope you have an absolutely amazing day. If you want to subscribe for more videos, hey, click that subscribe button. And if I can ever be of assistance, I'm always here. Call, text, email, guys. I'll do my best to help out any way I can. Hope you have an absolutely amazing day, and I will catch you on the flip side. Later.